Vitasta, you can begin. We are live now. 1 minute. Just recording, starting the recording. Yeah, we are live now. Proceed, Vitasta.
So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vitasta Mehta, and I am an associate researcher at the Global Alliance for Financial Inclusion, promoted by Global Council for the Promotion of International Trade. Now I'll give you a brief about what Global Alliance for Financial Inclusion is. So it's basically a coalition of organizations focused on accelerating financial inclusion to ensure inclusive and sustained economic growth. By promoting multi-stakeholder approaches, it aims to make financial services available, accessible, and affordable for all by improving system performance and attracting new investments. In my role, I have the privilege of gathering insights from interviews with global leaders in the financial inclusion space. These insights are then analyzed and then turned into valuable resources to help us all move forward. We are here to explore the exciting and rapidly evolving world of fintech, a field that is significantly transforming the fintech industry. Today, we are honored to have with us a distinguished speaker, Abedi Mwange. Abedi is the co-founder of NDI Africa and is a pivotal figure in the African tech ecosystem. With over 8 years of experience and expertise in urban mobility and fintech, Abedi has created and scaled solutions that empower and enable millions of mobility entrepreneurs across Africa. In his role, he oversees key functions such as fundraising, partnerships, expansion, research and development, operations, and people operations. His entrepreneurial journey is a remarkable narrative of vision, resilience, and impact. And his work with Mashul and NDI Africa has addressed critical challenges in student transformation and financial inclusion, setting new standards for innovation and entrepreneurship in Africa. So now I want to I want to welcome you all. I want to welcome and I want to welcome you all to join me in this valuable session, so that we can get the insights and valuable insights and experiences from Bedi sir today. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Vitasta, for that intro. So yeah, as you said, my name is Abedi Mwange. I'm co-founder at NDI. We are based out in Nairobi, Kenya. We have operations here in Kenya in 2 cities. Basically, yeah, maybe a brief background of what we do. We help online taxi drivers who can't afford vehicles by connecting them with vehicle distributors and OEMs, effectively reducing their financial risk. So yeah, I will be presenting my screen and take you through the landscape of fintech in Africa in general. So let me. Just maybe you make me host again. I'm unable to share, or you can share from your end. Oh no, okay. Right. You all can see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Right. So we are going to talk about future.
Please put that into slideshow mode. In the right hand side. Yeah. No. There and there. Before that. The last item. Last item. Yes.
All right. You can see it now.
Not yet.
So the reading view, you have to open the third one from the comments. The third one.
So on the top there is a slideshow. Is there home, insert, draw, design? On the top the slideshow. Yeah. No. On the top the slideshow button is there. On the top menu.
With
animation
the
transition. Next.
The slideshow, sir.
Sir, you can begin with this. No problem. Continue.
Let me do this. All right, so you're going to talk about future of fintech in Africa when we're looking at African perspective. So my name is Abedi, as it was earlier introduced. So I'm going to begin with the introduction, then I'll also take you through the key trends in the field, also potential impact and implications. I'll also take you through real-world examples and case studies, also look at innovation opportunities. We're also going to look at the role of collaboration and partnerships. We're also going to check relevant policies and regulatory landscape. We're also going to look at future outlook and predictions. Then at the end, you're going to have call to action, questions, then closing remarks. So the introduction. So what is fintech or financial inclusion? In financial inclusion is the pursuit of making financial services accessible and affordable to all individuals and businesses, regardless of their personal network or company size. So that is basically what it means with financial inclusion. Is the pursuit of making financial services accessible and affordable to all individuals and businesses, regardless of their personal network or company size. So looking at Africa, in Africa, the financial inclusion has become a critical agenda for economic development, aiming to provide the unbanked and the underbanked populations with access to banking, credit, insurance, and investment services. The rapid growth of financial technology, which is commonly called fintech, has revolutionized this landscape, offering innovative solutions to overcome traditional barriers such as geographic isolation, lack of infrastructure, and high service costs. Maybe to give you an example, in Africa, we have a huge SME financing gap, according to IMF numbers. It stands at 331 USD billion. So that is a huge financing gap to the SME space. So what are the key trends in this particular field? So several key trends are driving the evolution of financial inclusion and fintech in Africa. For example, mobile money. Mobile money services, for example, M-Pesa. For those who are familiar with M-Pesa, is quite large in Kenya and some of other African countries. So M-Pesa in Kenya has transformed the financial landscape by enabling users to conduct transactions via mobile phones, bypassing the need for traditional banking infrastructure. So mobile money is one of the effort, the trend basically. So then we also have digital banking, neobanks and digital only financial institutions are emerging as well, offering more accessible and user-friendly banking services. We also have blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Blockchain technology is being explored for secure and transparent transactions, while cryptocurrencies provide alternative means of saving and transferring money. Also, you have artificial intelligence, which is commonly called AI, and machine learning, commonly called ML, for those who are familiar with the short names. So these technologies are being utilized for credit scoring, fraud detection, and personalized financial services. Then we have regulatory sandboxes. Government and regulators are creating controlled environments to test and learn from fintech innovations without compromising consumer protection. So these are some of the key trends we are seeing in Africa: financial inclusion, mobile money, digital banking, blockchain and cryptocurrencies, artificial intelligence and machine learning, regulatory sandboxes. So what are some of the potential impact and implications? The advancement of fintech in Africa holds significant potential for economic growth and poverty reduction. By providing financial services to previously excluded populations, fintech can enable, I'm going to take you through, what is able to enable is able to enable entrepreneurship. It's also able to enable savings and investment. It's also able to enable efficiency and transparency as well as resilience. So, fintech is able to enable entrepreneurship. So, easier access to credit and investment can foster small and medium enterprises, SMEs, driving economic activity and job creation. As I highly mentioned that I'm coming from fintech background and actually banking as well. I've been in the bank for more than 6 years before I ventured into running a fintech startup or company. What we have observed over the years, we have seen that access to credit has been one of the major inhibitors of small scale businesses to thrive. Because looking at even the space of mobility, we have more than a million Uber drivers or app drivers across Africa. And most of these people are driving old vehicles. They are driving, most of them, they're driving vehicles for people, meaning they don't have access because they fall under the category of the unbanked populations, which doesn't really have good credit scoring method or banking history or credit history for them to be able to access credit from conventional lending institutions. And it's something we have observed over the time, and we've been able to find ways, solutions into which we are going to tap in this market and also create solutions for them which are going to enable them access credit as well as get the assets which they use to do their daily hustles and earn a livelihood or a living and provide for their families. So entrepreneurship is one of the, if fintech has enabled entrepreneurship, which trickles down to the end user. Also, savings and investment, financial tools that encourage savings and offer investment opportunities can improve financial security for individuals. Efficiency and transparency, digital transactions can reduce corruption and improve the efficiency of financial systems. Then the last one, resilience. Access to insurance products can help individuals and businesses better manage risks. So those are some of the potential impact and implications. Then real-world examples and case studies. I'll still go back to M-Pesa. This mobile money service in Kenya allows users to deposit, withdraw, transfer money, and pay for goods and services via mobile phone. It has dramatically increased financial inclusion in this region. So M-Pesa is one of the real-world example and a case study of how these solutions are able to increase financial inclusion. Then we have a company called Flutterwave. It's a Nigerian fintech company that provides payment infrastructure for global merchants and payment service providers across Africa. Also, they are trying to create, a way people are able to make payments across different parts of the of African continent. So they also is a real world example of how technology or these sort of solutions are breaking the barriers. Then we also have another company called Branch International, operating in several African countries. Branch uses data science to provide loans to individuals and small businesses through mobile devices. We also have another example called Fori, an Egyptian digital transformation and e-payment platform that provides financial services to the underbanked. So these are some of the few, some of the many real-world examples and case studies in Africa in terms of enablers of financial inclusion. So what are the innovation opportunities? There are several areas ripe for innovation in African fintech space. For example, agricultural finance, you have health finance, education finance, and remittances. If we look at agricultural finance, developing financial products tailored to the needs of farmers, such as weather-based insurance or microloans for seeds and equipments. And I know there are quite a number of solutions out there which are trying to as well play in this particular agricultural finance space. and they also help providing solution to the farmers. Yeah, then health finance. There are also solutions that enable better access to healthcare services through health saving accounts or micro insurance. We have quite a number of solutions as well, which are doing or trying to or attempting to solve this particular gap or problem in health finance. Then education finance, facilitating loans and savings plans for education to improve access to quality schooling and vocational training. Then remittances, creating more efficient and cost-effective methods for international money transfers. These are some of the examples of innovation opportunities which are ripe for innovation in the African fintech space: agricultural finance, health finance, education finance, remittances. It is quite ripe, and I believe still there is a huge opportunity for innovators out there to look into how they're able to tap in this particular space and see how they are able to offer solutions to the many problems surrounding each, either agriculture, either health, education, or payments, remittances. So, what is the role of collaboration and partnerships? Collaborations between various stakeholders is crucial for success of fintech in driving financial inclusion. Collaboration between various stakeholders is crucial for success of fintech in driving financial inclusion. For example, the PPPs or the public-private partnerships, governments can work with private fintech companies to expand infrastructure and services. That's an example. Interbank partnerships, banks can collaborate with fintech startups to enable service offering and reach. Also, international organizations, entities like the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund or IMF can provide funding and expertise. Also, local communities, engaging local leaders and organizations to build trust and ensure the adoption of fintech solutions is quite important. It's very important actually, the local communities. So, engaging the local leaders and organizations to build trust and ensure the adoption of fintech solutions. For me, it's very important because even if we get solutions or innovate as much as we want, then the end users or the target people need to be helped through these solutions that are not aware or they don't trust the solution, then of course it beats the purpose. What are the relevant policies and the regulatory landscape? The regulatory landscape is evolving to keep pace with fintech innovations. Key aspects of this include regulatory sandboxes. I think I mentioned this earlier. It's allowing fintech startups to test their products in controlled environment. That's very important. I've seen this actually happen in here in Kenya and also in a neighboring country, where we have sandboxes where fintechs are allowed to test their products in sort of controlled environment in effort to safeguard the data of the customers, and maybe to explore more, understand deeper that particular solution before it is really let out to the public. There's also consumer protection laws, very important, ensuring that fintech solutions do not exploit consumers and provide adequate data privacy. This is very important. I think in Kenya and other countries, even beyond Africa, I believe this something is key to be checked, because also these solutions or these solutions, if they're not checked, the people behind them, they could compromise quite a lot and exploit the consumers. Then also there is aspect of anti-money laundering, the AML regulations, implementing measures to prevent the misuse of fintech platforms for illicit activities. I think this is also very critical, is very important, and I also seen maybe some of the solutions getting blocked by maybe central bank of some countries because of some malpractice or some perceived malpractice. So this is very important. Then also cross-border regulations, harmonizing regulations to facilitate international fintech operations and remittances. That is quite important. Cross-border regulations, harmonizing regulations to facilitate international fintech operations and remittances. So, what is the future outlook and predictions? The future of fintech in Africa looks promising with several expected developments. Increased adoption, that is expected, increased adoption. Greater smartphone penetration and internet access will drive this uptake of fintech services. Also, we have enhanced AI and ML applications, these artificial intelligence and machine learning applications. Improved data analytics will lead to more personalized and efficient financial services. Also, expansion of blockchain, more widespread use of blockchain for secure and transparent transactions. Then more inclusive financial products. Development of tailored products for different segments of the population, including women, youth, and rural communities. I think I'll just mention about more inclusive financial products and the development of tailored products for different segments of the population. Because I believe there is quite a number of I don't want to say marginalized or, sort of the vulnerable, I may put it, because when I look at our story, when you are doing, or we are helping the mobility entrepreneurs get the assets, we are also seeing an imbalance between the drivers who are women and the men, and also youth who are doing application on our website to be able to get access to these assets or vehicles which they use for their daily hustles. And there is a lower application on the women. They do apply. We have some of them on the road and the fleet, but it's quite lower, and that calls us for more innovative approaches in order to target or to service the women and the youth in our ecosystem. So more inclusive financial products is quite important. So to harness the full potential of fintech for financial inclusion in Africa, stakeholders must, one, invest in infrastructure, ensure reliable internet and mobile network access across the continent, very important, foster innovation, encourage and support fintech startups through funding, mentorship, and conducive regulatory environment. I think in this point of fostering innovation, it's quite something which is embraced in many African countries. There's quite a lot, actually, many innovation hubs, startup incubation centers, accelerators who are trying to foster innovation, and I believe this will go a long way at in years to come. Then also promote financial literacy, educate the population about the benefits and usage of digital financial services. It's also very important to promote financial literacy by educating the population about the benefits and the usage of digital financial services. Quite important. I think maybe to reiterate on that point, maybe talking about where I'm coming from, we have a lot of our clients being not quite really educated, because most of them, they are the underbanked, the the ones who they need, maybe they never went to secondary school and stuff like that, so they've been excluded over the longest time. And we were able to study that particular niche and identify how we're able to offer a solution to them. And one thing we do extensively is financial literacy. Actually, we even sometimes call for a day for taking them through different services, financial discipline, budgeting, planning. We call insurance people to come and talk to them about the product and the importance of all this. So I understand from where I'm coming from and this how important this promoting financial literacy is very important. So, yeah. Then also strengthen collaboration, build partnerships across sectors to leverage diverse expertise and resources. Collaboration is quite important. So building partnerships across sectors to leverage diverse expertise and innovations. So those are some of the uh, things to look to in terms of the fintech in Africa. So, in conclusion, fintech presents a transformative opportunity for Africa to achieve greater financial inclusion, foster economic growth, and improve the quality of life for millions. By addressing existing challenges and leveraging innovative solutions, stakeholders can create a more inclusive financial ecosystem that benefits all. So thank you very much. I'm going to welcome questions. For those who want to connect with me, they can scan my QR code. We can touch base more down the road and look into how we are able to be of impact to our continent in terms of financial inclusions and how we can play our part and contribute to the success of the same. Thank you very much. I welcome any questions.
Thank you so much, sir, for the valuable session. I have few questions for you. So like one by one, I'm gonna ask you a few questions. My first question to you is that what are the like unique challenges and opportunities the Africa presents for fintech development?
All right, thank you very much for that question. I think the challenges, some of them I went them through when I was doing the presentation, but the challenges are anything rotating around infrastructure limitations, regulatory hurdles, financial literacy, trust issues, maybe to touch around infrastructure limitations. Many regions in Africa face challenges with internet connectivity, electricity, and general technological infrastructure, which can impede the development of usage of fintech solutions. That is around infrastructure limitations. Also, when you look at the regulatory hurdles, inconsistent and underdeveloped regulatory frameworks across different countries can create barriers to entry and scale for fintech companies. When you look at the financial literacy, low levels of financial literacy among large segments of the population can limit the adoption of fintech services. Then also we have the trust issues. Historical mistrust in formal financial institutions can affect the willingness of people to adopt new financial technologies. So those are some of the challenges. Then maybe touching on the opportunities. I think the opportunity is quite open, especially for Africa. In Africa here, there's high mobile penetration. There's also unbanked population, youthful demographics, and leapfrogging potential. So, talking about the high mobile penetration, so despite infrastructural challenges, mobile phone penetration is high, offering a ready platform for mobile-based fintech solutions. Then the unbanked population, a significant portion of the population remains unbanked, presenting a vast opportunity for fintech companies to provide accessible financial services. Also, the youthful demographics. I think Africa is known for that. We have quite a huge youthful demographic. A large and growing youth population is more adaptable to technology, providing a robust user base for fintech solutions. Then leapfrogging potential. Africa has the potential to leapfrog traditional banking systems directly to and advanced fintech solutions, as seen with the success of mobile money like M-Pesa.
So, how can fintech be leveraged to drive financial inclusion across the African continent?
So fintech can drive financial inclusion by mobile money services, digital lending platforms, remittances, savings and insurance products, So, mobile money service providing accessible financial services through mobile phones, which are widely used even in remote areas. Yeah. Then digital lending platforms offering micro loans and credit to individuals and small businesses that traditional banks typically overlook. Then also on remittances, reducing the cost and increasing the efficiency of cross-border money transfers. I think this is very important because most of the time I travel to other African countries. Then I want to transfer money, to send money to a friend or family in the village and stuff. It's usually very difficult for me to move money when I'm out of Kenya. So that's also something the fintech can leverage on. So remittances, reducing the cost and increasing the efficiency of cross-border money transfers, very important. Then also savings and insurance products, creating digital savings accounts and micro insurance products tailored to the needs of the low-income individuals.
Sir, what are the most promising areas of fintech innovation in Africa, like considering trends like mobile money and blockchain?
All right, I think I think it's the whole low-hanging fruit here is mobile money. That's one. Then also blockchain technology, digital lending, insurtech, payment solutions. Those are the promising areas of fintech innovation in Africa: mobile money, blockchain technology, digital lending, insurtech, payment solutions. In mobile money, with services like M-Pesa in Kenya, mobile money continues to be a significant area of growth, providing basic banking services through mobile phones. Then on blockchain technology, there's potential applications in improving transparency, reducing fraud, and enabling secure and decentralized financial transactions. On digital lending, platforms that assess credit worth through alternative data sources and provide quick access to loans. Then tech innovations in insurance that provide affordable and accessible insurance products to underserved populations. That's a big opportunity. Payment solutions, as mentioned, development of various digital payment platforms that facilitate easy, fast, and secure transactions.
Sir, how can fintech solutions be designed to address the specific needs of uh, unbanked and underbanked populations in Africa?
So by looking to, for example, the user-centric design, low-cost services, offline functionality, localized solutions, trust building, So when I talk about user-centric design, yeah, I mean solutions should be intuitive and accessible, considering various levels of financial and technological literacy. So user-centric design. Then low-cost services. Products need to be affordable to attract low-income users. Then offline functionality. Features that work without a constant internet connection can be critical in areas with poor connectivity. Then localized solutions, tailoring products to the specific cultural and economic contexts of different regions. Then also trust building, incorporating security features and transparent practices to build trust among users.
And sir, what regulatory frameworks are needed to support the growth and responsible development of fintech in Africa?
So with that, I would say harmonized regulations, like regulatory sandboxes. I think I mentioned this. Then consumer protections, then AML or anti-money laundering, and also KYC compliance. So harmonized regulations, yeah, I mean creating standardized regulations across countries to facilitate cross-border operations. It's very important. Then the regulatory sandboxes, implementing sandbox environments where fintech startups can test their products under regulatory supervision. Then the consumer protection, establishing regulations that protect consumers' data and financial rights. Then lastly, anti-money laundering, AML, and also KYC or know your customer compliance, very important. Developing clear guidelines to prevent financial crimes while ensuring easy onboarding of new users.
Sir, how can collaboration between traditional financial institutions and fintech startups be fostered to create a more robust ecosystem?
Through partnership models, through innovation apps, through investment and funding, through open banking. So, through partnership models, encouraging partnerships where banks and fintechs can leverage each other's strength, banks, customers base, and trust, fintech's innovation and agility. Encouraging partnerships where banks and fintechs can leverage each other's strengths. Banks, of course, they have the customer base and trust. Then fintechs have the innovation and the agility. Then talking about innovation hubs, creating spaces where financial institutions and startups can collaborate, share ideas, and develop joint solutions. On investment and funding, facilitating investment opportunities for traditional banks to invest in promising fintech startups. Then on open banking, implementing policies that require banks to open their APIs to fintech companies, fostering innovation and competition.
Sir, what role can fintech play in supporting the growth of small and medium-sized enterprises in Africa?
I think the first one I'll say access to credit. Then I'll talk also about payment processing, financial management tools, and marketplaces. When I talk about access to capital, I mean digital lending platforms that provide quick and easy access to loans for SMEs. That's one. Payment processing, I mean solutions that allow SMEs to accept digital payments, expanding their customer base. Talking about financial management tools, offering software for accounting and payroll and other financial management needs. Then on marketplaces, platforms that connect SMEs with the new markets and customers.
Sir, how can fintech be used to improve access to financial services for underserved communities in Africa, such as rural population and women?
I think I'll start with agent networks, then go to women focused services, go to education and training, talk about tailored products. When I talk about agent networks here, I mean utilizing local agents to offer fintech services in remote areas. Here in Kenya, I've seen it. In other countries I've traveled, I've seen as well, where we have quite a huge, vast agent network, whereby it utilizes local agents to offer fintech services in remote areas. Then women focused services, designing products that cater specifically to the financial needs of women who are often underserved. Education and training, providing financial literacy programs to help communities understand and use fintech services. Then tailored products, I mean, developing financial products that meet the specific needs of rural populations, such as agricultural loans and insurance.
So my last question to you is like, what are the potential security risks associated with the growth of fintech in Africa, and how can these be mitigated?
I think it can be mitigated through robust cybersecurity measures, regular audits and compliance checks, user education, fraud detection systems. Talking about robust cybersecurity measures, here I mean implementing advanced security protocols to protect against cyber threats. Then on regular audits and compliance checks, here I mean conducting regular security audits and ensuring compliance with international security standards. Then on user education, I mean educating users on safe practices to protect their information. On fraud detection systems, I mean utilizing AI and machine learning to detect and prevent fraudulent activities. I think these are all mitigating factors to or things to do to mitigate security risk and or in fintech growth, as much as cyber security and measures and regular audit and compliance checks, fraud detection systems are important. For me, I think user education is very, very important. Educating users on safe practices to protect their data or their information, it is quite important for me. But those are some of the ways to mitigate security risk in fintech growth.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this like valuable session, for the valuable insights on fintech. Uh, your discussion on key trends, real world examples, and African case studies were enlightening. And the innovation in the African fintech space, especially through collaborations and partnerships that you mentioned, was like very impressive. uh, the future outlook that you mentioned for fintech in Africa is promising, with continued advancements and investment driving growth. Overall, the session was amazing. You covered a lot of things regarding African landscape, fintech landscape. It was like amazing. It was a nice session. Thank you, sir, for your time. Uh, we really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much for having me today. Looking forward.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.